During this meetup, we will visit a creative icon of Los Angeles that most people have heard of, but relatively few have actually seen in person. It has been said to be the largest art object ever made by one individual, Simon Rodilla. It's intriguing how little is known about Mr. Rodilla's motivations. Despite many studies, the meaning of the towers, of its shapes and symbols, still isn't entirely clear. What we do know is that Rodilla purchased the triangular lot in 1921, beginning to build the work he called Nuestro Pueblo, our town. The tallest tower is 30 meters high. All the elements are made from ferro cement, steel reinforcing bar and wire coated in concrete. The foundations are only 20 inches deep, so if the towers hadn't been interconnected, they probably would have tumbled down long ago. In fact, the LA Department of Building and Safety ordered the towers demolished, but a group of people, including British art collector Edward James, fought to preserve them. James was so inspired by the beauty of these towers that when he relocated to a beautiful garden in Mexico, he spent many years building his own fantasy structures from the same ferro cement material. Rodilla built them by overlapping sections of rebar, wrapping the joints in wire mesh, and then packing cement in and around them with his hands. It turns out he was a natural engineering genius. When the city tested the towers for their ability to resist earthquakes by hooking a crane cable to the tallest one and give it a good yank, the towers stood fast. After the students in my visual thinking class visited the towers, I challenged them to build intuitive structural models from balsa wood, glue, and wire, and test them by loading a 10-pound block of wood to each project. Some worked, some did not. Here's the link to that video. 34 years after he started, he considered himself finished. He deeded the property to his neighbor in 1955 and moved to Salinas, California, where he spent his final 10 years. Why do all this work? One of the only things he said was, "I wanted to build something big, and I did it."